Thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner here on YouTube. And don't forget to leave us a like and a comment.
And you can share with a friend if you enjoy it, and subscribe so you're notified of new videos.
Thanks and enjoy the show.
I think it's gonna look great.
Yeah.
This 70s ranch has been updated on the inside. Now it's time to take the party outside for a curb appeal makeover.
So are you calling it obnoxious?
Jonathan and Kate Light share this 1972 ranch-style home with their two kids, Gabe and Brody.
I love our neighborhood. That's really what drove me to the purchase of this house. What I don't like about the house is that it is pretty dated, and so that's one of the first things we did when we moved here was to start working on some updates. But we've never touched the outside of the house. It is its original 1972 state. I want it to reflect what we've done on the inside. You'll see all through the neighborhood different houses that are doing visual upgrades to the outside of their home. And I don't want ours to end up looking like a sore thumb and be that house in the neighborhood.
It does already, yes. The rails that hold up the porch are hideous. So I would think that's the first thing.
I think also just cleaning it up generally. The bushes are way overgrown. That and just a splash of color would be nice. You know, as much as we want it to look nicer, I don't want to just look like a boring old generic home. It needs to have some kind of personality in it too.
The metal poles there kind of rusting out the bottom.
You know, some people really love wrought iron, and others think of it as kind of a very dated look.
It's pretty obvious that they're like an original feature of the home, which could be fun in a retro sense, but it doesn't quite work.
Even though this handrail makes sense being right here, it almost kind of like blocks the entrance. Every time I see these, I just think it kind of takes away from a welcoming feeling that you can have. And to get some wood look columns in here would be fairly easy. I've done that many, many times. And then really handrails. You know, if you were to do this new, handrails would be required. What about these trees that used to be bushes?
Yeah, they're a little out of control.
Absolutely.
But you're not thinking transplanting, are you?
Well, you know, it occurred to us to do that, but it sounds like it might be a bit of work.
That's a lot.
And they're already so overgrown that I'm just not sure they would look good anywhere.
Yeah, and I think if we got a landscape guy in here that really knows what he's doing, that can offer some suggestions, I think that would probably be the next best step.
That would be great because I don't think we would know where to begin.
My job is to help kind of guide you, asking these questions, and really give you an idea of right plant, right place.
Sid will work out a landscape design to flatter the house while we improve the structure itself. In addition to the columns and rails for the porch, we'll repair some cracked concrete, missing mortar, and replace the light fixtures. Now, to add a splash of color, we'll install some bold new window shutters on each of the 6 windows. That's a lot of work, but one thing is clear. The place to start is removing those old shrubs.
You want to go ahead and cut them all down?
I think it's time for them to go.
Well, I guarantee you'll like it, getting a lot of the height down, getting some fresh plants in here. So I'll cut, Alan will cut, and you can drag them out to the street.
It looks empty. It was a little hurtful, I'll have to admit, a little bit, as the shrubs started going down.
I'm always sad when you have to actually cut something down instead of salvaging it. They say if you look at a bush like this, the way it is, then reverse it. Underground, that's the root system.
Oh, yeah.
So try to dig all that out to save it.
That's a lot.
I wish we could.
I know. Really, it was the best thing for the house.
As each plant is cut back, Jonathan begins digging around the stumps so they can be removed. As you've already figured out, Jonathan doesn't talk much, but he never stops working.
He's gonna do something till it's done. He's got a really good work ethic. And so when he sees that, you know, we've got 12 shrubs to remove and he knows that they all have to come out, then he's doing it.
It's gonna take a lot more than just digging to get them out.
I know it. We're going to have to do some cutting. I have a feeling we're going to be hooking a truck up to that later.
The next item on the agenda is the wrought iron columns and rails.
I'm not having much luck over here. What about you?
I got the easy ones then.
Yeah, this is too rusty. See, that's got a screw in it. Well, we just...
And a saw and cut it off?
Sledgehammer.
I like that option.
Okay, Kate, what are you doing with this?
Well, I was thinking we could hang it on the front as a decorative feature.
I'll tell you what, Craigslist, eBay, things like that.
Really?
There's still people that want this kind of stuff.
Okay, well, I guess we'll keep it.
To remove the old columns, we have to jack up the porch roof slightly before we can pull them out.
When it turns loose, it's gonna be heavy now.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
Thank you for helping.
Well, you said to make sure you didn't hit me in the face. You didn't tell me to support it against you.
That's heavier than I remember.
Yeah. Oh.
That was my toe, by the way.
The next step is installing temporary supports until we're ready to build the new columns.
I think it's gonna look great.
Yeah.
I can already,
like it already.
Yeah, it already looks more modern
Even with
without it
2x4s.
existing. Even with 2x4s, it looks better. Let's just paint those, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's easy enough to clean a dirty, badly stained vase if you can reach inside. But when it has a narrow neck like this, try this trick. First, pour in a little warm water. You don't need much, quarter cup or so. And then add a little vinegar. That'll help cut through some stains. And then a couple of drops of liquid dishwashing detergent. That's all, you don't need much. But the real trick is to add about a quarter cup or so of uncooked rice. The rice will act as an abrasive and scrub the inside. So you just swirl it around. The longer you swirl it, the more time the rice has to scrub away all those stains. And then bring it over to the sink, dump it out, rinse it. And there you go. Perfectly clean, good as new.
Jonathan and Kate's 1972 ranch-style home was hidden by shrubs and accented with dated wrought iron, but the transformation is underway.
You know, it's only been just a couple hours and we've already been able to cut down all of the overgrown shrubs, remove that old dated wrought iron, and you can really get a feel of how this is going to open up the front of the house and allow us to really modernize it a little bit and create a great curb appeal. The easy work's already done. The hard part will be removing the rest of those plants.
To do that, we're wrapping a rope around each stump and hooking the other end to the hitch of my truck.
All right, that should work out pretty well. They're going to keep cutting it as we pull, and you are going to drive the truck.
Yay!
Okay, come on, let me show you. Okay, we got some tension on it back there now. It's coming, it's coming.
Yeah?
There you go, there you go. Pow! All right, good job, good job.
Thanks. Initially, it seemed like one of those things that you see on YouTube that could fail miserably.
I know Kate loved to drive that truck and pull them out.
Once all the stumps are out, it's time to turn our attention to the porch and what those columns will look like.
An 8-inch column is going to look, to me, my opinion, a little too much when you don't have a whole lot of room there. Okay, so this is a 6-inch column.
I mean, I think it looks a little small, but I bet from the street it looks bigger.
It's obvious this is not an easy decision, so I mock up a full height column in each size.
You got a 6-inch one on the right. You got an 8-inch one on the left. And we can go either way that you want to go.
That's tough.
I don't want to bias you. I don't want to say anything. Y'all have to decide on your own.
I like the 6-inch. Doesn't take up as much space.
Okay, I go more toward the bigger one, but
Now, both
I
of you have
also-
very valid points.
yeah, I don't have a valid point at all. No, but honestly, I think that I would rather take the opinion of somebody who knows what they're doing. I think we should give it a try. If you suggest a 6-inch, I
6-inch.
value your opinion.
Okay, you heard her.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, all right.
I did.
Here we go.
My first step is actually installing a solid 4x4 post in each location. These will actually support the weight of the roof. They're anchored to the concrete at the bottom with a metal saddle and screwed into the porch beam at the top. We're using scraps of the column wrap material to act as spacers between the post and the freeze board to make sure we have room later for the wraps. While I'm doing that, Alan and Jonathan are set to repair cracked concrete on the edge of the porch.
The one step most homeowners leave out, and it's critical, and I've done it once and hated myself because I did, is not putting a bonding agent on here, because concrete to concrete, you've got to have something for it to adhere to. It just doesn't stick to itself.
Right.
So that's what this is here. I mean, you can see I've got some little concrete screws in there as well. You don't have to do that. That's just for my sake. It makes me feel better. So while I mix concrete, I'm going to get you to paint some of this just on the concrete. It can be just sloppy as you want.
Okay.
This was the only cup I had. It was Danny's drinking glass.
Gotcha.
So we won't tell him.
Alan's using sand topping mix because it's designed for making small repairs to existing slabs. Once the bonding agent is dry, they begin troweling the mix into the form, which is pretty unique in this case. The porch slab is supposed to extend past the brick wall beneath it by an inch or so the form has to have a bottom on it as well. Meanwhile, Chelsea is getting Kate started on the pressure washer.
The pressure washer is very gratifying. There's something very attractive about being able to make such a big difference with such little effort.
The pressure washer is great, especially when you're cleaning siding or bricks, because the dirt and grime comes off so easily and you get instant results. If only Kate would give it back to me.
If you're bringing home a brand new door, I think the hardest part of the installation is to make sure that the lock set and the deadbolt are both positioned properly. Now, they come with paper templates, which I find to not work really that well because they rip or they tear as you're trying to make the hole cuts. But Ryobi has come out with a lock installation kit. Now there's everything in here that you need to make sure that those are going to be positioned perfectly every time. Now I've opened one up so you can see what's all in there. Take a look and see how sturdy this plastic construction is. It will adjust to the thickness of your door to make sure that you get the lock bore hole perfectly. Also, depending upon the lock that you're using, if you need 2 3/4 inch, if it calls for that, you've got the position for that, or you can simply slide it over to 2 3/8. Also along the back here, there's an auto strike locator so that your strike box will be located perfectly on that door jamb, and you have all of the tools necessary. It comes with the 2 hole saws. It also comes with a pilot bit and your paddle bit. All you got to bring to the party is your door and your drill.
Jonathan and Kate's curb appeal update is moving from the remove the old stage to the add the update stage as Alan and Jonathan prepare to install the new wood shutters that Kate picked out. Now they look just like wood, but they're made from polyurethane, so they won't warp, rot, or crack. And the manufacturer has a color match program, so Kate got to choose exactly what she wanted, which was a custom color. But now they're having second thoughts.
Well, I first took them out of the box. They were a little brighter than I thought.
This is a bold color.
The whole idea is to look a little bit different and to have a house that has some personality, but we didn't want it to be too different. We didn't want it to be obnoxious.
So are you calling it obnoxious?
You know, I'm expecting there to be a little bit of weathering.
I like this color. It catches your attention right off the bat.
Yes, it
And
does.
it's easy to give directions to the house then.
And it will look really nice when the door is painted. It will really bring it together.
I agree.
And when we have all the greenery, it won't be nearly as obnoxious.
I think once everybody gets over the shock of this, it's going to work pretty well.
To hurry that along, Chelsea and Kate remove the front door so they can begin prepping it to repaint it the same bold color.
So you're sure about this color? Because I overheard, it almost sounded like you were hesitant about your shutter color.
Well, you know, when they first came out of the box, they were pretty bright. But I'm hoping that this will tie it in together and make it feel a little bit more cohesive.
I like it. So with the recessed panel like this, we'll paint the panels first, and then we'll paint the edges and make everything look smooth and pretty. And also I noticed that the bottom of your door and the top of your door are not painted. So we'll go ahead and do that too, just to seal the wood in and help keep moisture out.
Cool.
All of our 4x4 posts are in place, nice and secure, and that'll provide all the support we need for the front porch. Now we're going to make them look really nice by casing them with 4 pieces of composite material. Now, this stuff is nice and smooth. We'll be able to nail it all out, maybe put a few pieces of trim around it. It's going to look great.
Earlier, we nailed the pieces of composite together in pairs to form these L-shaped pieces. The first pair that goes up on each post is pressed tight against the 4x4 on 2 sides. Before we add the second pair, we nail up spacers to make up the difference between the dimension of the post and the composite material. We're lifting the bottom of the composite about a ½ inch off the porch. That gap is then covered with another piece of the same material turned horizontally and mitered around the column.
All right, Kate, I have our mortar mix mixed up in here. Just a little bit of water, and we're gonna add it to our missing joints here. It'll really make a big difference.
Yeah, and keep my weeds away possibly.
Yeah, there we go. It's weed control. Scoop a little bit into the joints where it's missing, and then we'll clean off the bricks. But we wet it down so that it won't suck the moisture from the mortar and make it dry too fast before we have time to shape it and work with it. This is just something that can happen over time, especially on a house of this age. So it's a really easy fix. We're just filling in the holes, and it'll be good as new in no time.
With the mortar repair complete, work on the house itself is coming right along. But when the new plants arrive, it's time to shift the focus to landscaping.
You know, homeowners ask me for a lot of different opinions, but when it comes to selecting plants, I'm glad we have Sid.
So what we're gonna do now is just site the trees, because you wanna plant largest to smallest, and just site those trees and set them, and then everything else will work themselves around it.
Having that confidence of knowing exactly how to place it and knowing how to plant it the proper way, so that way it lives, was really nice.
We'll start with these U's.
Okay.
See, we'll have them along the back side.
Oh, yeah.
It was very helpful to me to learn how to plant stuff, so maybe I won't kill it.
Plants are relatively expensive, and we've purchased this really nice plant that you know, we don't want to kill that. We don't want to buy that again, because if it ends up growing out, we'd rather it grow out this way,
Yeah.
right? It's growing out maybe this
I think
way?
so too.
Okay,
That's why I was gonna say this side against the house.
gotcha. I think the landscaping is going to be, it's one of the most dramatic changes as far as I'm concerned.
She may be right, but we still have a little bit of work to do on the house. Alan is replacing the old corroded carriage lights on either side of the front door. And Chelsea and I are putting together the rail that will support the porch.
Okay, there we go.
Why don't you tell me why the slope is here?
I just always have done it this way because, you know, once they paint it and rain blows up on it, it allows that water to run off.
Nice.
If it just sits there flat, which is nothing wrong with it being flat,
Yeah.
then it just seems to get dirty, and that's all.
Yeah.
Just from one of those things.
Keeping it clean.
Keeping it clean.
The outside of Kate and Jonathan's house had changed very little in the 45 years since it was built, except for the growth of the enormous shrubs that blocked the view of it. To update it and create some real curb appeal, we started by removing those shrubs. The dated wrought iron had to go as well, so we replaced it with some simple square columns and a clean-looking set of handrails that invite you right up on the porch. The wow factor Kate wanted came from the new turquoise shutters and repainted front door that grabbed the attention of everyone who passes by. Replacing the aging light fixtures on each side of the door was also an easy upgrade, but the addition of some well-designed landscaping really seems to be the thing that excites our homeowners the most.
Yeah, I think that the updates that we've done on the outside of the house really reflect what we've done on the inside a lot better, because we have put so much time and effort and money into the interior of the house, and now the exterior of the house is matching that a lot better. I'm really amazed at how the things that we did made such a big difference in the way it looks. And I know our neighbors have been driving by really slow, checking it out, because it looks so dramatically different.
Yeah, it's amazing what a little paint and a little cleanup and some bushes and plants help.
It just feels a lot more modernized, which is really what we were going for.
Yeah, I think it felt unfinished. I like the door and the shutters. It just adds to the outside of the house. Gives it a little color, gives a little modern look to it.
It completes it.
Jonathan and Kate told me they really haven't spent a lot of money or time outside their house. They've been really concentrating on the inside. They also told me every month they set aside a little bit of money for a household budget. What a great idea. And it was just the right amount of money that they had saved over the last year to take care of all of the work we did here on the front of their house. Now, we've inspired a few neighbors. A few other projects are popping up around here as well. And I hope we've inspired you with a few ideas of how you can improve your home's curb appeal without spending a lot of money or time. Hey, thanks so much for being with us. I'm Danny Lipford. See you next week, right here on Today's Homeowner.
I love you, pressure washer.
Oh, I'm sorry, wrong one.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner. And don't forget to comment, like, and hit the bell icon so that we can notify you when new videos are posted.
And don't go anywhere, click around and continue the home improving fun.